Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stainless Steel World podcast. My name is Joanne McIntyre. I'm the editor-in-chief of Stainless Steel World. And today I'm talking to two people from Alleima. The first is Laura Rioja-Monllor, Senior Product Manager for Heat Exchanger Applications. And the second person I'll be talking to is Oscar Ӧlin, who is Senior R&D Engineer. So welcome, Laura and Oscar, to the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about one of Alleima's newest materials called SAF 3006. And this is a high alloy duplex stainless steel that's tailored to enhance corrosion resistance and acidic and caustic environments. The new alloy is an upgrade to traditional super duplex stainless steels, and it fills out the company's growing duplex portfolio. So Laura, tell me, what role has Alleima played in the development of duplex? And what are some of the key innovations in this area?
Thank you, Joanne. So, as you know, and many of our listeners may know that within Alleima, we have a long history of development of duplex stainless steels. So this dates back from a long time ago, more than 60 years ago, I think it would be around right now. First time mass manufacturing of seamless tubes of duplex materials. Our first one in the market that was the 3RE60. And since then, we've been developing duplex stainless steel. So it's been a long journey, and we've been little by little and development by development increasing the portfolio of duplex steels. It's going to be now 2 years ago where we launched this grade, the one we're talking about today.
Now, Laura, SAF 3006 is really an enhanced alloy. What role do you see it playing in expanding Alleima's duplex stainless steel portfolio for customers, particularly in the chemical and petrochemical industries?
So this new grade, this SAF 3006, comes to expand the portfolio of Alleima duplex steels, and it comes to a demand where the current materials existing in the market are not enough. So this is not a replacement of existing grades that are available today, but this is more a specific and tuning new grade that comes to be used in these challenging environments. So if we look at these industries, we are talking about chemical and petrochemical industries. This is a very, very big industry with very different challenges. There are many different processes, and there are key processes, key equipments where the current materials available today may not be enough. And this is where these new grades come to play, where existing materials are not sufficient.
Right. So if we just expand on that a bit more, Oscar, if I'm looking at you now, tell me, how does SAF 3006 improve upon traditional duplex stainless steel, the super duplexes, in terms of both corrosion resistance and performance?
Yes. So looking at historical and more traditional super duplex and also the hyper duplex grades, they have been developed and optimized to have high resistance to chloride corrosion. So when they were designed, focus and placed on maximizing the chloride resistance, and that often means that the PRE, the pitting resistance equivalent, is increased when it's high to get a good pitting and crevice corrosion resistance. But drawback can be that since they are optimized for high PRE, they can have, at least in some environments, acidic environments, limited general corrosion resistance. So for 36, it has been a different way of alloying and designing this grade. Then the focus has been more on optimizing the grade composition for general corrosion resistance instead of the pitting corrosion resistance. And this, of course, gives 36 benefits over the traditional duplex space, where we can get good corrosion resistance in many acidic and also caustic environments, as formic acid, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid environments. It's sort of a good side. The benefit also is that we have quite good high PRE values as well. So we have pitting resistance equal to that of super duplex grade.
Oscar, tell me, what are some of the key properties of SAF 3006, and which of these matter the most for your customers?
So, key properties of 3006, of course, is a duplex grade, so it has very high mechanical strength. That's, of course, a benefit when designing the equipment. But I think the most important, of course, is the corrosion resistance. We have good corrosion resistance in many acidic environments, as mentioned earlier. And then, of course, being a duplex grade, it has a thermal expansion similar to carbon steel that can give design advantages when, for instance, fabricating a heat exchanger. And also 36 has good weldability. That's also, of course, a benefit.
Okay. Now, Laura, if I turn back to you, can you tell me what are some of the main focus areas going to be for this grade in the coming year or so?
So since we have launched this material into the market a couple of years ago, we have been focusing on understanding these key industries or these key applications or equipments where they need this higher material because in all these industries, they have very, very specific environments. They have their own processes, and therefore it's very important not only that we have our own evaluation of the performance of the material in, let's say, testing environments, most common environments, but now also it's time to raise awareness about these grades so that people can come with their specific processes and test our material. Because there is nothing better than a potential customer or a current customer that they can do their own testing and check the benefits of using this grade. And we are fully available for this type of activities. Oscar from R&D is very aware of this type of activities and is very involved as well.
So, okay, Oscar, now going back to you, is there a specific industry need or a failure mode that you wanted to address, particularly with this alloy?
So 36 has been developed for the chemical and the petrochemical industries. So we see that where super duplex grades fail due to corrosion, then we see that this can be the next step. Or if customers today using duplex grades don't achieve the service life that they want, then it also can be an alternative to prolong the service life of that equipment.
Now, Laura, this is a new alloy, but how easily can manufacturers integrate it into their existing processes or equipment?
So this is a duplex stainless steel, and this is not a new type of grade. So this is just a advancement of the existing materials that are available today. So most of our customers, most of the fabricators, if you think about heat exchangers, where these tubes we manufactured will go into the heat exchanger fabricators to produce these grades, they are familiar into fabricating equipment made of duplex stainless steel. Nevertheless, we always support the fabricators with the data that they may need, the engineers with the properties in case they need to redesign or adjust it. And we also have our own welding department, and we do specifically welding guidelines, for example. That is usually very, very important when fabricating this type of equipment.
Okay, can you tell me, are there any particular industries or applications that are showing the most sort of serious early interest in adapting SAF 3006 at the moment?
So we have a couple of examples. Within the chemical, petrochemical industry, if you think about these harsh environments, you go directly into acids, or you go to the other extreme, you go to these caustic environments. So whether you are in this both sides of the pH scale, customers have been very interested into this grade from those perspectives, where you have high concentrations of acids, or not specifically hydrochloric acid, but other types of acids. We have been mentioning sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, formic acid, in high, in medium, and then when you go to the other side of the pH, caustic environments, for example, sodium hydroxide. So whether you are using in a heat exchanger, whether you're using it with seawater or any other kind of cooling media. So these are the typical applications or equipments where customers have been coming to us to ask questions and sharing a little bit their processing conditions and, okay, how is this material, how can it perform? So this has been a very, very interesting conversations in this type of applications.
Okay, thank you very much to Laura and Oscar from the Alleima team for joining us today. I thank you for listening to the Stainless Steel World podcast. Do join in next time and have a look at our full podcast library on the website. Thanks again, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Bye-bye.